Hi guys, and welcome to yet another video here on Financial Marathon. My name is Tasha and I'm your host today. Kidding, I'm always your host on this channel because no one else is here. Anyway, so Financial Marathon is a platform where you learn everything about personal finance as I learn it. So I'm basically giving you the information that I get so you can also be educated financially and we all win, right? Great. Okay, so today's video is going to be about investing, and to be specific, I'm going to be talking about advice that I've had so frequently being given out to people to kind of scare them away from investing, or scare them away from the idea of investing. And honestly, as sad as it is, this annoys me, and that's why I decided to make a video about it so you won't fall into the same trap. Investing is a really interesting journey, at least it has been for me, and I'd say that I have come this far because of the research that I have done, and partially because I have been deaf to so much advice that I have been given by people who honestly have not even invested yet. So that is one thing that kind of annoys me. The people who have the most to say about something probably haven't tried it. They had it from someone else, or I don't know what happened, and now they come and try and give you the same advice, which is just not happening. So let me start with the first point. Now the first point is that investing is for the rich. The number of times that I have had this is actually shocking. So before I started investing, I of course did my research, right? And of course I looked into the history of the stock market, and back then when the stock market just formed, or just before the stock market formed, this was true, right? Investment really was just for the rich. And hear me out. So this is what happened. So what led to the formation of the stock market is that the rich would send out ships on voyages, right? Sending a ship on a voyage was extremely expensive at that time. So this was basically just for the rich, because the normal people were more focused on surviving and providing the basic needs for themselves and their families, right? It got to a point that it got so expensive that even the rich couldn't afford them individually. So what they did is a group of people would come together, right? And they would pull in funds, and then they would fund a voyage. So you find that a group of people come together, one gives 20%, another one gives 50%, another one gives 30%, and these three people would send a ship on a voyage. And if this voyage was successful and it came back, each person would get their reward directly proportional to what they gave and to their contributions, right? So if you contributed 20%, you get 20% of the reward, right? If you contributed 50%, you get the same thing. And that is how the stock market was born, because that is what happens these days. For example, a company, right? So this company comes to the stock market and says, I'm going to be selling shares of our company, and in exchange we're going to get funds, right? So you, as the investor, you buy a share and you give them your money, and they give you a percentage of the company. So you technically own a section of the company. Now the reason why this notion that investing is just for the rich is not true is because it has become extremely popularized. It doesn't really apply that much, right? And right now I can literally name you more than 10 companies that sell each share for less than $10, and $10 is really not a lot of money. Most people can afford $10, right? So that is why investment nowadays is not just for the rich. I began investing at 20 years old, and I began with just $50. Was I rich? No. Am I rich? No. But I started. And that's the thing, I'm an investor and I'm not rich. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Okay, the second point is that you have to time the market. I don't know why people struggle so much with trying to time the market. Here's the thing, I don't care whether you say you've been in the market for 20 years or 50 years or 30 years, I really don't care. But no one, absolutely no one, can be able to predict the market. You want to know why? Because the market is not influenced by one factor. The stock market is always influenced by various factors, and that is why it's completely impossible to predict the market, right? Because no one person can influence all factors at the same time, and that's why it's completely impossible to correctly predict the stock market. So timing the market there's no such thing as timing the market. So timing the market is not something that you're even supposed to be focusing on. You're supposed to be focusing on your gains and growing your portfolio. That's it. Don't try to time the market at all. If you want to be a long-term investor, timing the market is not it, because what difference does it make if you get in during a bear market or if you get in during a bullish market and you want to invest for a period of 40 years? It doesn't really make sense, right? It makes no difference, because during the course of time, you're probably going to gain back. If you, for example, if you got in during the bullish market, and let's say, for example, in the next 5 years, the market falls, you theoretically lose money, right? But we all know when the market falls, it has to come back up, right? When you lose money during this bearish market, you'll obviously get the money back at some point, because with every bear market, there's always going to be a bullish market, and after every bullish market, there's going to be a bear market. So it works like that. It's a seesaw, right? So you don't really have to be worried about timing the market. Just get in, just start. That's it, just start. Okay, the third point is micromanaging your portfolio. Now, micromanaging the portfolio is actually extremely dangerous. And the thing that makes it most dangerous is the simple fact that we are human beings. That's it. Now, being human beings, we have emotions, right? We are emotional creatures. And if you keep checking your portfolio every 3 minutes or every single day, then you're bound to react, right? If you keep checking your portfolio, let's say every single day, right? Obviously, the market never stays up or it never stays down. So if it's up, for example, it's bound to come down. And if you keep checking your portfolio during the downturns and keep analyzing how much you're losing or how much you're gaining, at some point you're going to have fear, right? You're going to have the fear of losing your investments. And the number one mistake most people do is that when they feel that they have lost too much money, they pull the rest out because they want to prevent any more losses. And that ends up being the single biggest mistake, because once you pull out, getting in will most probably not help you recover the amount of money you lost. So micromanaging your portfolio is really a waste of time. For example, we're in a bear market right now, right? And that simply means that stocks have lost about more than 20% from their recent highs, right? And when I look at my portfolio, I know that I have theoretically lost money. I'm saying theoretically because all these losses are unrealized. I haven't pulled out any money, but I choose to let it stay. I don't react to it. The only time I go to my portfolio is when I want to add more stocks, or like I call it, adding more inventory, right? And that's the thing. Whenever I go there, I know that I've lost. I see everything is red and I panic, but then that's it. I just go buy some more and just run out. Okay, the fourth point is that you have to be an expert. Who is this person who said you have to be an expert? I get it. Back then, you had to be an expert because this thing was new and you probably had to get someone to help you. But nowadays, with the internet, you don't have to be an expert to start this. You really don't. You don't have to be an expert to get into the stock market. I was 20 when I got into the stock market. Was I an expert? Hell no. Am I an expert? I'm still not an expert. But it's a learning journey, right? It's a trial and error phase. Personally, I'm very okay with learning. And that's the thing. To be an investor, you have to be willing to learn. I'll give you a small tip, a very important tip that I personally learned. When you want to increase your chances of picking the right company, what I usually do is I check the financial health of a company, because the financial health of a company will tell me if this company is going to survive or it's doomed to failure. And the good thing with the stock market is that every company that is in the stock market is obligated. Obligated means it's a must. They are obligated to reveal their cash flow publicly, right? And this cash flow, you can find it in the investor relations section of their website. So for example, company A, you just go to the website, look for the investor relations part, and there you can get all the information you need. And this information will actually help you decide whether this company is surviving or it's just a disaster waiting to happen. If you want to confirm the health of a company, go to the investor relations section of the company's website, and from there you can get all the information you need. The information that you get will actually help you decide whether this is a company you really want to invest in or it's not for you. Okay, so the final point is that investing is too risky. Listen. Everything is risky. To get the farther we have as mankind, to get the farther we are right now as a civilization, there are people who took risks. For us to have electricity, someone took a risk and did a lot of failed experiments, right? If they didn't do that, we wouldn't have electricity. So the fact that you are too afraid of investing just because you think it's too risky simply means that you are not ready for progress. And if you're not ready for progress, honestly, I can't help you. I cannot help you. No one actually can. Everything is a risk, and to be able to achieve anything in life, you have to take a risk. If you're not willing to take a risk, then you are an enemy to progress, because there's no way you can make a progress without taking a risk, without risking something. And the biggest reason why people say that it's a risk is because they don't want to lose their money. Listen. How many times have you bought a gadget or something and you use it once and don't use it ever again? Isn't that losing money? So that's it from me for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I know you did. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't, because I know there are some of you who watch my videos and you don't subscribe. Not fair. That's not how this works. Anyway, subscribe and share this video with that one friend or family member who would want to start their investment journey but are probably having their doubts. This video should clear it up for them. And if it doesn't, I don't know how I can help them. I really don't. I'll see you in the next video.